Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
1, 2, 3, 4!
Occupation no more!
5, 6, 7, 8!
Israel is a terrorist state!
1, 2!
We started the occupation almost 2 weeks ago. The list of 8 demands, the principal one of which was revoking the Honorary Doctorate that King's recently granted Shimon Peres. There's a range of other demands as well, including a public acknowledgement from the university about the recent slaughter in Gaza, and a list of all sorts of humanitarian measures that the college could take to directly aid folks in Palestine, particularly students. The administration has conceded on 7 of the 8 demands, including a public statement about Shimon Peres and about Gaza and about the college's role in that. We are still, the campaign continues, I guess, to continue to pressure around actually revoking Shimon Peres' award, but on everything else, including scholarships for Palestinian students and surplus educational resources to Palestinian schools, we've won on, and so this is quite brilliant. We're all pretty tired because we've been sleeping here for 2 weeks.
On the Paris issue, I just realized that it's more or less exactly what I always had in mind when I was saying we should go for the maximum that we can get on this point. You know, it's really incredible that we're going to have a debate. We're going to get a public mentioning of it, which is amazing. And what else? Yeah, another doctorate awarded, which is, you know, it's basically all we could get apart from revoking the degree. And I think that's really what comes, you know, what links to the question that Lorenzo raised, although he's not here now, about what we can do afterwards, because that's really a very impressive basis for any kind of activism we're going to do afterwards, and it's going to give us great legitimization for that.
We've won all but one. The only thing that the university felt they could hold out on by the end was the doctorate, and we've actually got movement even on that one. They're basically going to put out in the statement that they're putting out, they're going to kind of distance themselves a little bit from the remarks that he's made recently. And actually, the feeling of everyone here is that we're going to carry on with the campaign to revoke the doctorate. But in terms of what we've actually won, we've won on all the humanitarian demands. We're going to have a massive fundraising day, hopefully next week. We are going to get books and computers shipped over to Gaza. We're going to have King's College is going to be proactively creating links with a university in Palestine. So we've won on demands which we really thought were not even winnable when we started. And another one, you know, 5 scholarships for Palestinian students living in Palestine, which is something which we thought was very ambitious at the start. So I mean, I'm just elated at the moment. I think it's an incredible victory.
And will those scholarships be in Palestinian universities, or will those students be coming here?
There'll be students that are coming here, so there'll be 5 students every year from Palestinian universities who are coming over here. And I mean, I think that's going to be fantastic, because it's going to mean that every year we're going to have 5 Palestinians, and that, you know, that's really going to keep the debate going. That's going to force people to talk about the issues around Palestine and around Gaza, and I think it's just going to create an incredibly rich atmosphere of debate around this issue going right into the future.
I think what we've done is significantly shaken up the college establishment over the past 2 weeks or so, and I think in terms of that we scored a massive victory, because we've created a whole new political culture on campus and created something concrete as well for the Palestinians, which I think is really important, in the form of scholarships and links with universities in Palestine, in aid being sent over, and we're also going to get the Students' Union to launch a fundraising day as well. So I think on all of our demands, really, we've done really, really well, and I think we can be very proud of that.
I've been involved in the occupation over the last couple of weeks. We're pretty ecstatic today because we've achieved what is a massive victory for our movement. We know and we realise that the logic of Zionism and the logic of the conflict in the Middle East means that the Israeli government and the Israeli state is not going to leave the Palestinians in peace. The current conflict is only one episode in a wider, series of oppression, and the logic of that is that there will be more massacres and there will be more horrific brutalities in the future. And we're really pleased that we're in a stronger position now to oppose those things, to provide real solidarity, to have 5 Palestinian students come over to this country and actually be given the chance to have a doctorate, but actually, more importantly, to be able to report to people what's happening in Palestine, and actually so that we can actually build real solidarity, a brother and sister university here at King's for the people in the Gaza Strip and on the West Bank.
There's just been so many universities that, as a direct result of what we're doing, have gone out. On Monday morning, they're going to print off the press release of what the principal says. They're going to hear our messages, and they're going to say, look, Kings have won. Look at all these things that Kings have won. They're going to say that to their fellow students, and they're going to stick it to their administrations, right? And that is going to have a massive effect. And we may not revoke the doctorate today, but do you really think that any other university in this country is going to lightly make a similar decision of giving an honorary doctorate to either Perez or any similar figure? They're not, because they're going to fear this kind of reaction.
And essentially what we had was yesterday, that was the 31st of January, we had negotiations going on which were kind of sprung upon us by the administration, and we managed to hammer out a deal with them in which we achieved 7 of our 8 demands and got to a halfway point and some concessions on the 8th demand, which was the second point, which was to revoke Shimon Peres's PhD. The occupation decided to end the occupation today on the 1st of February, and the Shimon Peres issue is an ongoing struggle. This occupation was one action and one tactical battle in a whole campaign and a whole strategy of getting Shimon Peres's PhD revoked. So, we done a good job, and this to us is a great victory. We've managed to achieve humanitarian aid for the Palestinians, as well as educational and surplus equipment being sent to Gazan institutions, and scholarships will be arranged for Palestinian students as well. So, there's a general betterment for Palestinian lives. We hope that we can take this thing further and hopefully have Shimon Peres's PhD revoked. Especially with the calls of the UN for war crimes tribunals, it will give us an extra weight when we campaign. So hopefully it will be working out. Give us some support.
I think the occupation has been a massive success, not only in so much as we've got 7 of our 8 demands, which will do a massive amount to help the Palestinian people practically, but we've also helped raise awareness on campus and helped to get the students more politically active. I think this is the beginning of a new wave of student activism that is not only in King's, not only in London, but is sweeping across the nation and indeed across the world. I think it's a fantastic opportunity and it's very exciting for everyone that's involved. Personally, I look forward to the start of student activism once again, and to see how we can once again become a major force, a potent force for political change.
So it's ready for lessons on Monday?
Yes it is. They can start nurturing their minds once more.
Palestine! Free, free! 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 Palestine!
What was the best bit for you?
I think all the discussions and just being, I think I made a lot of friends here, so yeah, we met so many different people, and to see that student activism was amazing.
Viva! 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 Palestina!